Hi everyone. It's a Friday, 4 p.m. On behalf of ETGovernment, the Economic Times, I welcome senior bureaucrat Sri Satyajit Rajan, our esteemed guest for this week's Chai Pe Charcha.
Thank
Sir,
you, Mr. Amit.
indeed, a great pleasure to meet you. I also welcome our delegates and viewers. Let me share to our viewers, Chai Pe Charcha is an interactive program with the bureaucrats and high achievers in diverse fields. The high impact live video show highlights the journey into professional life and likes and dislikes in their career apart from their contribution towards the society and national building activity. Each week, we present a new guest and discuss interesting topics that matter. In this ongoing show, we present our guest, Sri Satyajit Ranjan, a 1987 batch IAS officer of Kerala Cadre. Sri Rajan has over 33 years of experience as an administrator and 4 years as a finance executive in central public sector undertaking prior to joining the IAS. He recently retired. His last assignment was Additional Chief Secretary, Departments of Labor, Skills and Excise at Government of Kerala. Over the years, he has acquired critical skills to manage a regulatory as well as developmental job and at the highest echelons. His expertise include leadership, negotiation, creative thinking, analytical, interpersonal, team building, other soft skills needed in commercial as well as academic institutions. Sir, I once again welcome you to ETGovernment Chai Pe Charcha.
Thank you so much, Radha Krishnaji. Thank you so much for inviting me to this show. And I hope I will be able to answer your questions as good as I can.
Sir, joining a government assignment, everybody thinks it's an easygoing job, anybody can do that. And many people have different notions. I mean, since you have spent considerable 30 to 35 years of experience in government, how significant skills for government job in generally?
The government jobs require skills for which we need training. You see, the officers in all the central service offices, they undergo 2 years of training. In the states, for the officers of other levels also, we have training from time to time.
Okay.
There is induction training for different officers. But the training for the lower level officers is not as much institutionalized as it is for the senior officers. But we are in the process of building up a good training package for different level of officer in almost all the states. It is required. The skills are required, and training is absolutely required for working in the government as much it is required in the private sector.
Okay. Let me share Mr. Rajan's academics. Mr. Rajan is alumnus of Harvard Kennedy School of Administration, fellow of Cost and Management Accounts of India. He has done his master's in MBA from Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata. Before that, sir has done bachelor's in physics from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Sir, how, after working for 4 years in central public sector undertaking, I mean, you have chosen to explore UPSC and you got selected for IAS. How this happened? Is it a very planned approach you have done, or have you taken any inspiration from your family members? Somebody, friends have advised you, or what is your inspiration to become an IAS officer?
IAS was always at the back of my mind.
Okay.
It went off only for some time when I was in IIT Kharagpur. I joined physics course there. So my love for physics, which started in the school, and there was one Mr. B.D. Pandey. He taught us physics, So he said he once, after one on photoelectric effect, I had given 1 hour lecture to my colleagues, interactive session, and after that he told me that you will make it big in physics. So I started wondering that I would actually make it big in physics. So I got influenced by that and tried. But subsequently, when I went to Kharagpur, I realized that the guys out there are absolutely so bright, and I don't think I am cut out for doing research in physics. So I deviated, and instead of going for the higher this thing, I went to IIM Kolkata and then management. 4 years in a public sector undertaking was decided because in private sector it becomes difficult to write UPSC exams. It's easier to write it while you are in public sector. You get leave easily. So I got my UPSC thing only in my third attempt. So I worked for 4 years. While I worked for 4 years there, I was taking one attempt after another with 1 year gap. After 2 years, when I didn't make it, so took a gap of the third year, and then I wrote the exam the last time, and it was my luck that I could make it in my third attempt, which was the last attempt. In those days, there were only 3 attempts.
Okay, okay. But was there any in your life somebody inspired you that yes, I should follow his foot?
My parents were the big inspiration for, and then I went to a school called Netarhat School. It's a residential school
Okay,
now in Jharkhand, then in Bihar, and there were 4 of us in the same hostel. We studied together in the
okay.
same batch, and out of 4 of us, 3 made it into the IAS
Wow.
and one into IPS. So see, the peer group also influenced and motivated.
Absolutely, 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 absolutely. So then, sir, how tough it is to get into and understand the administration, and from the beginning of your career to now additional chief secretary of the Kerala. I mean, how you transformed yourself?
One doesn't really know how one is getting transformed, uh, but it happens. For example, I had a very different image of politicians till I joined Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad as his private secretary. My entire image of politicians changed. I found that they are such good human beings. There things happen to you in different career, and then you keep changing your opinions. Uh, but as far as the basic job is concerned, I have never changed. In the sense, I have worked with the same levels of integrity in the beginning of the career, and same levels of independence, in the sense that I would not work under influence. That has continued till the end. On those basics, one has not compromised.
Okay, okay, okay. Well. Sir, you are known as a very people-friendly. People management is one of the greatest arts which you carried away in your last assignment very significantly. During COVID-19, we hear you took you managed 2,000 plus camps to take care of interstate migrant workers during COVID-19 last year. Gave a major boost to entrepreneur mindset development training program for students of industrial training institutions. Uh, I mean, how this went well, and everybody treating you are most accessible officer in Kerala during that time.
See, the Kerala Cadre, uh, the way the cadre is structured, the way the officers are trained, the way the officers learn from the seniors, the peers, from other stakeholders, uh, the responsiveness is built into them. uh, this is one great thing which I got as a legacy of a cadre. Uh, Actually, it's also important for your own survival, for being known as a good officer. If you are not responsive, you are immediately rejected as well. So that is why if the migrant workers have to be taken care, they have to be taken care. From chief minister down the line to the panchayats, local bodies, everybody got into this. The panchayats ran. In fact, there were some 2,500 kitchens, and these shelters for the migrant workers were actually not 2,000, but 20,000. Around 20,000 plus shelters were run. There was only one case where some migrant workers wanted to go home when they saw on the TV that everybody wants to go home. So they, from one particular part, they came out and they said, we also want to go home. But when it was explained to them that the entire journey may not be safe and things like that, then they did not. So this kind of a thing did not take place in Kerala. In fact, there are cases where the employers, they hired buses immediately after the lockdown, and then trains were limited. So they hired buses and sent their employees home. I am not saying the exploitation doesn't take place in Kerala. Systems will be exploitative to some extent or other all over, but the exploitation of migrant workers is much less in Kerala, and that is why migrant workers want to come back to Kerala. They want to come back, and and we also feel that they are the reason for our prosperity in Kerala. So it works both ways. Primarily, responsiveness comes from the place you work in.
What was the most challenging times that you had with dealing with the subject, sir?
The most challenging time was when these people, the migrant, despite the fact that 3 times the food is being given, the complaints that the food is not good. See, the problem with food is that you can't eat somebody else's food every day. You can like it 1 day, 2 days, but you have to get your dal. If I give somebody sambar every day when he is used to eating dal, then he is very unhappy. Sambar may be a richer, tastier food, but I am happy with dal only. So I have to. So we introduce certain, things in which the food things can be changed, because you have to. Without the lockdown getting off, they can't go home. And if they stop liking food, if they stop saying, no, I don't, then, the mindset, they would like to go home at any cost, because that's where the food is. That's where the care, they'll think that's where the care is. Care we take tremendously. We gave them ways of entertaining themselves. The medical facilities were taken to them. They were tested from time to time. So they were treated. And, the most important, the CM said that, when they're going home, so they were given, a lot of food materials, so that, they don't have to go out and, depend upon others, because we wanted to minimize the chances of corona for them. So they were given the food materials. So that kind of a care, for us, the migrant workers were not a liability for us. They were guests who have fallen into bad times. If they want to go home, they should go home. If they don't want to go home, we are the home for them.
So hopefully all went well peacefully, and many of them reached their home safely.
Yes, I don't think there was only one case of suicide, and that also it was for a different reason.
Okay.
So I think the entire team of the labor, panchayat, police, all these departments came together to take care of them. So they collectively did phenomenal job.
So your tenure in Government of India very significant, and many first to your to your credit. You played a significant role in shifting National Film Festival from our national capital, Delhi, to Goa. You were the first launch of the first community radio and first satellite television of India and DD News in 2004. It is thanks to Satyajit Rajan ji. Sir, how it happened? I mean, was there
I
any?
I was I was only a private secretary, so I cannot take the credit for this.
Okay,
But yes, I'll just tell you two stories. So my role, the
please.
when Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad became the minister in charge of information and broadcasting in January 2003, I was thinking, what is it that can be done? So a number of discussions were taking place, and minister got a lot of ideas, but I wanted to get ideas informally from the senior officers. So Mr. Anil Bajal, he was the additional secretary. He went on to become the lieutenant governor of Delhi. A phenomenal, very good officer. So I went and asked him, sir, if there is one thing which you would like Mr. Prasad to take up, what would it be? So he says it would be shifting the film festival venue from a bureaucratic Delhi to a more entertaining Goa.
Okay, okay.
And then, Mr. Ravishankar Prasad, I discussed with him, he liked the idea, and it happened because Mr. Panikar, late Panikar was the CM of Goa. And those who've seen him working, they know that if he takes up an assignment, he makes it happen. So the decision was taken uh, in 2003, sometime 2004 Film Festival. After in the month of November, December, took place in Goa, and from then onwards, each and every festival took place in Goa. The other story is actually very interesting. FM radio, the community radio.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
uh, the initial Anna University had set up the entire uh, uh, equipments for the community radio. But their file was not getting cleared for the license
Okay,
because the ministry was thinking of changing the guidelines for setting up a community radio.
radio. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, this was sometime in January 2004. Elections were 3 months from then.
Okay,
So I discussed this with Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. He says, no, I think we will have to have this. So he called for the file, got this, approved this. Some senior officers did not like it, but he approved it. And then, I also played a role in bringing Jayalalitha ji and then that time our Deputy Prime Minister was there. And so both of them, for the main function, both of them were there. And this function, first satellite, community radio was launched with Advani ji, Jayalalitha ji, they're all there, and Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. So politically also this was, although, it was very important. And I thought administratively, first the Vice Chancellor were very happy. So I have always done things based upon two very simple principles. Anything which is politically desirable, but it has to be administratively feasible, must happen. See, you're changing guidelines. Okay, when you change guidelines, if there is something which Anna University is doing wrongly, then you change that. But why shouldn't the community radio, they have set up all the equipments as per your guidelines. Now you say you not give them the license, that's not correct. So this was slightly tricky, but it happened.
the most welcome and accepted from bureaucratic and political leadership as well.
Right.
Sir, was there any compliments for you for shifting Delhi to Goa National Film Festival from film fraternity, like Big B and other some film stars complimenting you for shifting this, or honorable minister?
I'm quite sure Mr. Manohar Panikar, because see, ultimately you must realize that Mr. Manohar Panikar made it happen, because creating so much of facilities in Goa was not very easy, but he made it happen. And of course, the private secretaries are faceless, IAS officers are faceless. We are not supposed to be taking away any credit for anything. If you remember, Edward Kennedy, sometime in 1971-72, he made a very important statement. He said, only if bureaucrats did their work and gave the credit to the politicians, then only there will be a smooth relationship between the politicians and the bureaucrats. So I have retired, so I can talk a little bit about it, but not, credit. Such important decisions are always political. We can only become, and overall, in the decision making, a support system. But they are all political decisions.
So you are also played a significant role in turning around the central public sector undertaking Coal India Limited way back in 2002. Something which is very interesting story from you.
No, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad was the minister again, coal minister, and I was his private secretary. And he will go to different units, and their performances were monitored in the minister's office. So many times it's not a very great commercial units have to manage on their own. Only when coal sector didn't do well for almost over a decade. I think 1990 onwards, the coal sector was not doing well. The Coal India Limited was not making profit. But Mr. Prasad, he made it a point to supervise the sector, the performance very, very closely. And I did help him in that process.
Okay. Just for our audience, Mr. Rajan promoted tourism aggressively, short markets and domestic tourism during 2017-19 when he was holding Director General of Tourism. He also acquired critical disaster management skills relevant to all the jobs, managed complex sector of defense offsets and defense industry licensing for 5 years, organized, very interestingly, defense exhibitions 2010 to 2015 and 2010 without an event manager. Understand, defense exhibitions without an event manager is, I'm sure this is a exhaustive and very elaborate process involved in this. And also organized first Republic of Korea India Defense Production Cooperating Meeting. Sir, how significant this period in your overall career in Government of India, this defense assignment?
The defense is a very critical sector for a country like India, which is surrounded by not so friendly countries. So working in defense has been a blessing, and I owe it to Mr. Antony, then defense minister, because I requested him for the assignment and I got that assignment. The defense production, that is where I worked. Dealing with companies like Bharat Electronics Limited, which produce electronic systems, which are the lifeline of all the Army, Navy, Air Force, war systems. They are the lifeline. increasingly so in modern times. Then there is those BEML, the Tatra vehicles they produced, and also I mean, in my time, they went into the metro. I mean, they started supplying metro coaches to Delhi Metro as well as to Bangalore Metro. Overall, the there was an opportunity to work for 2 years out of those 5 years under Mr. Rajkumar Singh, and he was the Secretary Defense Production, the present Power Minister.
Power Minister, and
He was my boss, and you know, all the many critical things which took place. He made me electronic systems in charge. So Bell was given to me, and so the meetings will take place, and we'll discuss that something new has to be done. And actually, it went down, and many things. What happens that, like weapon locating radar. Now, this came up during Mr. Rajkumar Singh. So this is what we give support to the R&D team of Bell. Because when you start looking at systems of a public sector undertaking, the entire atmosphere there changes. They become far more enthusiastic about, doing thing, completing a thing. So there are a lot of projects which started and got completed. We started tablets. The tablets we started making. The Bell did not want it, but the Rural Development Department wanted it. The Census Department, they wanted. So then we used to take meetings and make the Bell officers look at our side. That we need these things, and we can't go to the private sector. You have to do it. So the entire exercise was of starting something and then completing it. This was really challenging, interesting, and it gave a lot of new dimensions to the different jobs which I did in Kerala. Because in the government of India, apart from tourism, all other sectors which I have worked, by and large, they are limited. They are very peculiar to government of India. They don't. Information broadcasting is very peculiar to government of India. Then defense, you don't have parallels in the state government. So it was a very unique experience.
I think Government of India assignments given most satisfactory. I'm sure with you, and any wow moment in your assignments. राजन जी, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, जैसा कोई आपने बॉस ने बोला है सर आपसे, बॉस ने बोला है आपसे.
The wow moments, fortunately for the civil servants, they happen on a daily basis. You do something or other which you feel very proud of, you feel very happy. We deal with files, so one day one file may benefit one person, and that file was pending for some time and you could get it cleared. Some file which is a policy file which impacts a larger number of people. So, this opportunity of impacting lives in a larger number, in a bigger manner, this opportunity the service gives. I would not say that one particular moment was really big and other moments were small. But say in Kerala, I will tell you one example. I'll give you. It's a very small example, but that will tell you responsiveness and acting properly, timely, what it means. So on a holiday, I got this information that a boat with 3 fishermen is not traceable. for almost 36 hours or so. And then, being a holiday, I can't even contact Government of India through the proper channels. So in Mangalore, the officer in charge of the port, the this Coast Guards, officer in charge of Coast Guards, he is a friend of mine. So I asked him that, such a problem is there. Can you help? He took the coordinates of where the boat got vanished. And then he said that within 1 hour of that area, my one ship is there. So we will use that ship. He used that ship, and uh, they recovered one person. One person they recovered. His life was saved. So out of three, two did not survive, one survived. And that person, is a Christian. He, Jesus Christ, he has a statue in his home. And at the feet of the Jesus Christ, he put my photograph also. So, he thought that, I have given him another life. Now, this is something which I came to know. But there are many instances where you've done things for people which they have appreciated, you would never come to know. So, I mean, which one is a war moment, which one is not, it's very difficult to say. But these moments mostly, one should not, my advice, although not ask me this question, my advice to the IAS officers is not to look for the wow moments, because what happens is that looking for that makes us dependent upon the media and publicity, which IAS officers should avoid at all costs.
Why media, sir? What have we done?
No, because what happens is you not because publicity should not be the paramount
Absolutely.
goal of whatever we do.
True.
We have to be faceless. So that way, I am the old type of bureaucrat where we would like to be faceless.
But you played a very significant role helping a needy during golden hour, which is called golden hour. Timely action by your friends' support, I think he survived.
So it's a word, opportunity which God gives you to help people. I remember Mr. Antony was the chief minister, and during his time, I was posted to Kasaragod district. That's the northernmost district of Kerala, next to Mangalore. I did my 2 years there. It's Kannadigas are also there, and Malayalis also there. So both population. So, and it's a Muslim majority district. So quite a diverse kind of a population. Mr. Antony, on his first visit after I joined, so he would always meet the district collector first. Most of the CMs do that. So I went and met him. What was the first thing he said? He says, work very hard. It's a golden opportunity that you get to be the district collector. So work very hard. So that was the only thing which he said. So why only district collector? It's a golden opportunity that we get to be public servants, and we have to work hard. And if you want to isolate working hard uh, uh, from, because many times you'll work hard but will not get the results. But you have to isolate these two. You have to keep working hard whether you get the results or not. So that should be that's why for a lot of work, a lot of time we do, we may not get publicity. We may actually get adverse publicity also. But while working, we give our best. So you should be satisfied that you gave your best.
Sir, you played different games. You were also an athletic, trekking, marathon, running. You played different games also. You were a volunteer in National Cadet Corps, Navy Wing.
I don't know where all you got the information from. I like trek. Trekking is one thing. The academy, if you ask me, what do I remember of my academy? The Masuri Academy, Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy. One thing, of course, is that Lal Bahadur Shastri. Those who grew up in 60s, for them, Lal Bahadur Shastri was the biggest hero possible. And, so going to an academy named after Lal Bahadur Shastri was a big thing. And the trek of that particular academy, we went to Harkidun, beautiful place, river, the mountain backdrop. So we did this trek, and some of us became extremely good friends. I mean, one of the best takeaways from the trekking was that some of us became very good friends. And one of them happened to be the grandson of Mr. Lal Bahadur Shastri. So, so that kind of a connectivity that one built up. So this trekking is, but apart from that, I don't think I keep trekking every year with my family members just to ensure that all of them are they love trekking. So small trekking, not much, maximum 5-6 kilometers, but we keep doing. But the one thing which I played in a big way and won all the tournaments in academy along with my friend Siddhinath Roy, an officer from Haryana Cadre, and we have other officers also who all were the winning type. Mr. Pankaj, who's secretary, water, the resources. Then we have Mr. M.S. Rao, who's secretary who's chief secretary of Meghalaya. Then we have just Mr. Ajay Seth, who joined the Government of India as secretary in finance department. So all of us, and we used to play, and we used to play and play and play. So and we won all the tournaments also. So the bridge is something which was very dear to my heart, and I loved playing bridge, but I had to stop playing bridge after I realized that it takes away a lot of time. It's a good story which I'll tell you one-to-one sometime.
Very, very interesting, sir. Very supportive role, and they are always encourage the good things that one member does in your life. How your family and your better half supported you from the beginning, if you can share, and introduce your family.
Yeah, my wife, my better half, Simi Rajan, she is a postgraduate in botany. Now she is supported in a big way from time to time, and in the last 7-8 years, her support has been the most significant. So people think that you have two daughters who are doing so well, you have a wife who's so supportive, then why should you get into depression? Officers, many of us, from time to time, we go through phases which are ups and downs. So in my down phases, the kind of support she gave me, that was tremendous and absolutely unforgettable. And the reason why I'm back talking like this is her. And the other way she supported by being a part of Kerala. So she's become, you look at this mural which is right at the back, this Lord Ganesha. So this is a Kerala mural. This is a Kerala kind of mural.
Okay.
So she took to this Kerala mural, and see, you take up, you start liking a place by start liking the food, start liking the language. So we like the language, we like the food of Kerala. We, in our house, at least twice a week, we eat Kerala food. The Kerala vegetarian food is supposed to be one of the best in the world, purely in nutrition terms. And then she took to the Kerala style of painting. And she's done one which is 15 feet into 3 feet. Dashavatar. There are 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu on that. So it's one frame in which she has done it. So if your significant half starts liking the cadre which you belong to as much as you do, so that is the biggest support that she could give me. And she's raised two children, and they have done very well. My elder daughter, she did her graduation, post graduation in from Kellogg, the management, and she is abroad working for Deloitte, and her husband is a doctor there in Chicago. My younger daughter, who's working for the UN here in Delhi, she has got a call. The support from 75% support from uh, Parsons. Parsons happens to be the best design school. She's done her design from Swiss School of Design. So now she is going to the best design school, and my elder daughter went to the second best management school in the world. So this can happen only when she's done something magical.
Okay.
So.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So there was some influence of parents on their children. Generally, my father is IAS officer. Of course, I can get a lot of guidance from him to become easy to appear for UPSCs. In your case, same thing, like your children thought of like that?
The 1987 I joined, and 2000 I came to Kerala. I came to Delhi, 1999. Then my wife had to take up a job as a school teacher for almost 15 years because my salary was not enough to meet both ends. So she took up a job. So my children have seen the 87 to 2007-8 period, which was a relative poverty-stricken period for the bureaucrats. The salary levels were very low. So I don't think they were ever thought about getting into the IAS, but only because salary. Salaries improved tremendously in 2000 with the 6th pay commission, 7th pay commission. So now I have salaries, but then I can't tell them that, now you join, because the impressions which were on them was of a period when, the income levels for the IAS officers and the civil servants were too low.
I'm sure. I think the way bureaucrats get the respect from the people, the way they serve the for people is amazing. People definitely they respect a lot of bureaucrats and society today. I mean, that is always there, sir.
I don't really agree. There will be respect from the society at large, but India is a vast country, not very easy to manage. And things go wrong from time to time. So politicians and the bureaucrats, they are the first line of attack because they are responsible. They are the ones who are responsible.
True.
Look at COVID. It's the most complex thing in the world to manage is COVID in India. So things will go wrong from time to time.
Sir, you said Kerala food. Puttu.
Puttu and chana is kadala. Chana is very good, and my house, it's a favorite food, the puttu and kadala. But my favorite is appam and mutton stew.
Okay, appams. Okay.
I'm a non-vegetarian. You are a vegetarian, Mr. Radhakrishna, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, but the food which is celebrated, the Kerala food is celebrated is not the non-vegetarian. It is the vegetarian Kerala food. See, the typical in a marriage, all those small items which are placed. If you try to decode each item, it is very nutritious. Very little oil is used, and very masala also is not much. But each one is very tasty. That is the beauty of Kerala food. There are items, items, items. Each one of them different taste, and like in North Indian marriages, suppose a sabji has to be made. If there is not, if a lot of masala is not put, it will not be a good sabji. It has to be there, but not in Kerala kind of preparation.
Good, sir. Good. Nice to know. Sir, how did you pick up Malayalam? Cheta.
I Malayalam, actually that has been my biggest limiting factor, is that my Malayalam, I could have done much better on Malayalam. The problem was that time, uh, the overall, there was no problem. I think it was there are some people who cannot learn the languages well. For me, even I am not good at either English or Hindi also. Whereas there was in the tourism, there was one boy, some 13, 14 years old boy. The video became viral. That guy talks in 14 languages. He is a gali ka ladka. He talks in 14 languages. So there are some people who are very good at languages. I am not. And this being good at languages is different from being good at mathematics. You may be very bad at mathematics, but very good at languages. So I don't think I have, that has been my limiting factor.
Sir, under your leadership or during your term, your honorable minister given awards to the maid servants in Kerala. It's a very emotionally touched subject. I want you to just speak on this experience. Normally, maid servants are maid servants. Dignity of labor approach. Generally, in India, very little respect we give. But however, something turnaround happened in Kerala during your regime. Can you just highlight the moment?
Yeah. So, the journey is like very simple. So your family is known by the respect it gives to the domestic help. The people who are around you are supporting you. How you treat them, that defines you. Because how you deal with your bosses doesn't define you. How you deal with this set of people, that is the set which defines you. This was taught to me by my father very early. The driver, in the night after I learned driving, when he will come home, even if it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the night, he will ask me to go and drop him. So I'll go and drop the driver in the night. Now, this dignity of labor and giving them the kind of support they deserve, taking it to the institutional level, giving them award for their contributions. This started 2 years ago. Mr. P.V. Ramakrishnan is our labor minister. So it was his idea, and it was really, I think I mentioned this last time. I really liked this, we had the list of the awards, and then when I was going through the list of awards, I was quite surprised. It also includes the house helps. So yes, Mahatma Gandhi talked about dignity of labor. We as a nation, will have to learn to give this dignity to all of them, whether they are plumbers, whether they are car cleaners. We don't think we give them the kind of respect that they deserve. We will have to do better on that.
Sir, I could make out a lot of influence of your parents in your life, in education, in your values system that you have built and followed over the years. What is your suggestion to the parents whose children are pursuing UPSC to become like an IS officer like you. 3 commandants to the parents from Mr. Rajan.
Those who are coming to the service, that has completely changed. In the 50s, 60s, ultra affluent came. 70s, 80s, it changed. Middle class, it became. As we grew, the last 20, 25 years, people from the lowest income group are also aspiring and becoming. That is the best part of the present story. Now, the number one is that the parents should give them support. Now, this support can be, I personally feel that if you want your children to do well in life, and if you can teach them, then you must find time to teach them, because they will not get better teachers than you in their life. Because when the parents teach their student, their children, they will try to innovate. They will try to bring in new ways of teaching. So that's one. Second, I would tell them to, always keep the competition is far more. So always keep the second line ready. Like for me, if I had not got into the IAS, so at least I had a job with me. So that second line is, in my time, I could have taken that risk and gone for higher studies and preparation for UPSC rather than working. But presently, that time getting into the service was easier than present. Now it's become tougher because the number is far more. The people who want to get into the service, the sheer number is far more. So second is that they should always have and the third, they should teach them, if they want to be in public service, they have to teach them values. Because public service without value is absolutely, it's a killer. If a person becomes a public servant and he doesn't have the values which are required to be in the service, then it's just the reverse of what the parents wanted him to do.
Sri Satyajit Rajan ji, thank you very much on behalf of ETGovernment Economic Times. I sincerely thank you being our guest for Chai Pe Charcha, and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and keep guiding us in your future initiatives also. For our viewers, each week we present a new guest and discuss interesting topics that matter. The Chai Pe Charcha is an interactive program with the bureaucrats and high achievers in diverse fields. The high impact live video show highlights the journey into the professional life, likes and dislikes in their career apart from their contribution towards the society and national building. You can also suggest us the names which you like to interact with the bureaucrats. And thank you very much, Satyajit Ranjan ji.
Thank you, Radhakrishnan ji, for giving me this opportunity to share my views with my viewers. And I would like to thank ET, you, your team, particularly Rakesh ji. He has been in touch with me. And thank the Chitij, Akanksha, Rishabh, everybody for bringing me over here, for ensuring that I'm able to talk here. Thank you so much.